This conference will now be recorded.
Is my screen visible, everyone? Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, whenever you're working with writing the manual test cases or scenario, basically this is a default template that everyone follows. So once you work with different organizations, there will be a difference in columns or something like that. So as of now, what we do in general is serial number, test case ID. Once you upload it in your test management, if you're working with some test management tool like Jira, TestRail, HPLM, or those softwares, then once you upload the cases in those folders, then you'll have the test case ID given to you. Test case description, test steps, expected result, actual result, status, observations or remarks, if any. So these are the default columns that are present in each and every test case sheet. Clear with this point, everyone?
Yeah.
And some companies, they may mention this also. Module. Some companies, they may mention this thing as module, test case ID, test case steps. So these are the by default the columns that we use. And if the test case fails, they'll ask you for the bug ID again. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes. We can return also enrollment. Which enrollment we can test?
No, that you will mention in your observations or remarks, right? Which environment are you facing this issue or something like that? So basically what we will do, we will take an application called as Redbus. What is our first test case? Our first test case is to check whether the application is up and running or not. Yes or no? That should be
Yes.
ideally your first test case, right? As of now, we will avoid the module name because we're not working for any organization or real time or something. Once you work in organization, you'll get to know more of a module names. Test case ID I'll put as 001. Test case description, check whether the application is up and running. Okay. And I forgot to add here one more column that is called as prerequisites. Okay. What is the first step? Launch the Redbus application. I'll put the module as Redbus. Application should be launched, should be open successfully without any issues. Clear, everyone? Is this clear?
Yeah.
So what is our another test case? What is the other test case? Check whether
Login
the from
ID.
sorry,
Login
sorry,
IDs.
we are not logging in right now.
Okay.
Okay, if you want login, I don't have the valid credentials, so You have to, if you want to log in, you have to click on sign in button. It'll ask you to enter the phone number.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Log in to the Redbus application. So what is your prerequisites? Application should be up and running. Yes or no?
Yes.
Without that, you can't decide whether the application is up and running. Without that, you can't perform the login scenario, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What is the test step? Click on sign in / sign up button, right?
Yes.
That is our first step, right? So before that, what we need to do, we have to click on this user icon, right? We have to click on the user icon. So what is the first step? You have to click on the profile icon. Click on the profile icon. Then click on sign in sign up button. Then enter the phone number. Yes or no?
Yes.
Enter the phone number. That is a one way of login. Suppose if I give some random number. Then what is the next step? Accept the captcha that you are not a robot. Okay. So once you confirm it, then you click on generate one-time OTP to generate your password. Generate your one-time OTP. Okay. Click on generate OTP to generate the one-time password that comes to the desired mobile number. Okay. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Like right now, it will be saying like please valid number like that. Actually, I'm not clicking on generate OTP. Sometimes it can be a valid number, right? It will be wrong to send the OTP right now. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
So basically, on ideal scenarios, enter the OTP number. Enter the OTP number. What is the expected result? Application should be logged in successfully. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
How about others? Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Any doubts? Any doubts, anyone?
No.
Now the another test case that I have is Redbus 003. Now the test case that I have is via valid phone number. Now what is the another test case via invalid phone number? Clear? We should log in with a phone number that is not present in our country. You know the series, right? Like generally Indian numbers have the start. It starts with 987 or something like that, right? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yeah. Indians are +91. Other countries different numbers.
Yeah. I mean, not about the STD code. I'm telling you about the number. Generally, our own Indian number starts with 6789, right? The starting number of your phone number. Invalid number basically means what? You give some dummy number. It'll throw an error message here, right?
Yes.
You need to handle that also in your test cases. Enter the phone number. So these are the test steps. So what is the expected result? It should throw a message that
Invalid.
please, and the alert message that should come also is very important. Okay, clear everyone? Because if you put some random alert message and if the customer is not clear of it, then he or she will log a bug from the UAT side. Generally, most of the times what happens in UAT testing means more of a functionality, they check the UI part of the application. If their UI is not comfortable enough, if they feel that the error message is not clear as per the requirement, then they simply log bugs. Out of the bugs that we find in UAT, 30 to 40% of bugs are of UI issues only. Why? Because in the basic stages that we do, we always care about the functional testing. We always care about the logical part of the functionality. We always see that okay, logic is working fine or not. Yeah, that is also good. That is also good. Along with that, always all the testers need to spend some time on the UI testing also. Because if you spend some time on the UI testing, then you will get less number of bugs from UAT. Get a bug from UAT in such a way that it should be a surprising thing. It should be like it should enlighten you with okay, this is the area we missed to cover. It should be those kind of scenarios. Obviously, we are not expecting that to happen, but still, if you are getting a bug from UAT, just ensure that you are getting something new. You are learning something new from them. Clear, everyone? Everyone clear with it?
Yes.
Okay. And apart from this, the generate OTP button should be disabled again. Yes or no? See, you have entered the invalid phone number, but this button should be disabled, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Those are the expected things in your scenarios. Clear, everyone, with the scenarios?
Yeah.
Any doubts?
So far, nothing.
Okay. Now, another test case that I would like everyone to do with me is, now there is a login scenario with Google account. So what will be the test steps? What will be your approach towards writing this test case? Sign in with Google. I have written the test case for sign in with mobile number. Now, what will be your approach for sign in with Google?
Instead of mobile number, we'll click on the sign in with Google or Facebook, enter the credentials of username and password to log in
Okay.
directly.
So can you help me with the test steps or?
Yeah. Login via
This is your test case.
Google or Facebook.
Sorry?
Google/Facebook. Sign in with Google. I'm talking about the description.
Yeah. Log into the Redbus application via sign in with Google.
/Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, you can have two different cases Sridevi, actually here. You need not put it in one single case. That's not a problem because you're dealing with two different sites right here. It's on.
The process remains the same, so I thought we can add it. Anyways, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, totally fine, but some people do not have Facebook also. So for them, it should display some error message.
Okay.
That is the whole criteria of test cases. I told you right in the initial days, try to cover the maximum possibilities. Okay.
Yeah.
Then click on
Sign in.
sign up. What is the message that we have? Sign in with Google. So whenever you're mentioning some buttons here, always try to make them bold. Always try to make them bold. Why? Because whenever you're sharing these test cases with your customer, what happens? I mean, generally you'll go having a case review with your business analyst or with the customers. So what happens if you're bolding, making that point bold, then you're mentioning to the user that okay, there's some button in the application that I have to see and I have to click on it. Clear? Because the people in UAT, they are not familiar with the application, but they are familiar with the business logic or the business domain. They're with their business. So they don't know the UI part of the application or how it is going or something. So if you highlight them and showcase it, then they'll be like, okay, this guy knows which one for me to consider, which one not to consider. Clear?
Okay.
So click on sign in with Google button. What happens next? Okay, already my Google account is logged in, so it will be logged in automatically. If you sign in with Google account, it'll ask for credentials ideally. Since my mailer is already logged in, it will open like this. Okay.
You can use another account instead of
Yeah. If you use, so this is mail or phone. In this, what we'll do? Click on sign in with Google button. A new window should be opened. Yes or no? Ideally, a new window should be open, asking us to enter the credentials. Yes or no?
Yeah.
See
Yes.
guys,
Yeah.
obviously there is a business requirement again in the SOWs or SRS documents. They'll be like, whenever you're integrating your application with social networking site, some business users, they are very specific about the login should be in a new window. If you are making it in the same window, they will not accept it again. Trust me. You need to be very precise and to the point whenever you're writing a test case. No matter it is very long, very short, doesn't matter. But you need to be precise to the point. Okay. Okay, clear everyone? Then enter the valid Gmail credentials. Enter the valid credentials, no need of Gmail. Enter the valid credentials. So once you enter the valid credentials, then what happens? Automatically, you should be logged in automatically. If you are an existing user, or if you are an existing user, if you are logging into Redbus via Google for the first time, then a new account should be created. Clear? We have to do two ways of testing here. Are we giving too much information to customer, you feel? Are we giving too much information to your team who are leaving? Suppose if you leave the company, don't you feel like, are you giving too much information, or you're feeling like, okay, they can do the things by themselves? You need not be there to monitor all the time.
No, I think every step is covered.
So suppose today I'm leaving the organization, supposedly, and they ask like, okay, give KT to this resource because you're leaving the company. So I'll be like, okay, please refer to this test cases. If you're having any problem in application navigation, you get back to me. It's a very easy, right? If you create a very detailed manual of set of test cases for your particular module, then the opposite person will not approach you for this test case. They'll be like, why are we implementing this logic? The more questions will be like, why are we implementing this logic? Why only this way? Why are we performing these kind of validations? The discussion will be more on the why part, not on the how and when part. Clear? Always, whenever testing, you should always have the discussions on the why part. Why are we doing this? Because as testers, we have the right to question anyone. Let it be your internal team members, let it be anyone in the organization. Why are we doing this? A sensible why question is always required to ask. Then only you can test properly. Okay. This is for everyone who is into testing field or who are about to come into testing field. Always focus on why part whenever you're working in an organization. Why we are supposed to do this? Why this kind of validation? Is there any logic or any reason behind it? Like that. Okay. Now the same thing I will do with login via Facebook. Clear? Click on what is the button that I have? Facebook. Okay. Now there is a button here. Keep me logged in via Redbus. Okay. You have to see this message is there or not, because this is a feature given to you, right? Yes or no? Verify whether the checkbox is present for keep me logged in into Redbus.
Okay.
On selecting the above checkbox, it should be automatically logged in. It should be automatically logged in, right? For the second time.
Next time.
Yes or no? Even the button names, like in Google, in Gmail, we have sign in Facebook, we have login. Okay. These differences also matter a lot, because the business users are not so techie like us, right? Where we can, yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? The test cases that we have built so far. Clear or not?
Clear.
How about others? Is this okay? So all this comes under what? Login scenario. Clear? Once the test cases are designed, then you can cut down them into test scenarios. Clear? All this comes under which scenario, guys? Login scenario. Under login, what are the different permutations and combinations that you can do? You can do it. Clear?
Okay.
Still, you can add more permutations and combinations to this login scenario. You can give invalid credentials when you're logging with Gmail. You can give invalid credentials when you're logging with Facebook. You can give special characters to the username which is supposed to allow or not. Yes or no? You can have multiple combinations and permutations. You can create a new Gmail account. Clear? So these are the sample 5 test cases I have shown you for demonstration. But if you are working real time, trust me, you will have a lot of permutations and combinations for a login. I mean, depends from company to company what kind of login you have. So our job as a manual tester is to cover all those permutations and combinations as much as we can. So that like it's just like for the first time you feel it exciting or interesting to write all the test cases. So if you are feeling so interested, cover all the permutations and combinations. If you ask me to do the same activity after a month where I've finished all the test cases and I focus on execution, and if they ask me to remodify all the test cases, don't you feel it's cumbersome? Don't you feel it's too tiring to change everything? Yes or no?
Yes.
So that is the reason whenever you write the test cases, write it with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm for the first time, so that you'll have less number of review comments. Now the second thing is book the tickets. Booking of the tickets. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes. Yeah.
So what is our first test case? Wait, let me copy the whole thing. Again, I'm telling you, this test case template changes from organization to organization. There is no guarantee that this will be the same. This will be the same thing that is followed in all the companies. Okay. Test case description. Enter a valid from city. Clear? Application should be up and running. So you should also remember one thing: whatever you have written in prerequisites, you need not carry forward them into the test steps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Another prerequisite that I want to have is application also should be logged in, right? Because if you want to see the booking details, then if the user is logged in only, then he can see his booking details stored in his account, right? If he is not logged in, then he has to store the screenshot. He has to store it somewhere, right? Like he will come to his mail or something. He can't check in his app, right? Yes or no?
Correct.
In an ideal scenario, we say that application should be logged in. Clear?
Okay.
That's a bulletin. Okay. Okay. So I'm not getting that. Enter from city which is actually present. Okay. Hmm? Hmm? Suppose I'll put Ranchi. Yes, is there? Yes or no?
Yeah. Which is actually present in the drop down in the list of
Yes, if it
city.
is present only, then the values will be displayed in the drop down. If it is not present, then it will not display. It will be displaying something. I don't even know where is this place called a star. Okay, clear? Hmm? Here, everyone.
Yes.
If a valid city is entered, then the values will be displayed in the drop down. Clear?
Right.
Hmm?
Yeah.
User should be able to select the city from the drop down. Clear? Hmm?
Okay.
Enter a invalid from city. Okay. Hmm? Clear? Hmm? Clear?
Okay.
So in an idealistic scenario, if you only select the to without selecting the from, it will not work out, right? So that should be a prerequisite, right? Whenever you're selecting a to, you need to select a from. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in an idealistic scenario, what we will do? Enter a valid to city. Whatever prerequisites we have, we will put it, and select a valid from city. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Same thing again. Have you seen? Things remains the same, but a lot of permutations and combinations again. For each and every drop down, we need to maintain it. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes. You have to change it to the fourth one.
Sorry.
User should not be able to select the city to the drop down.
Uh,
To city.
no. I'm not mentioning anything to city or from the city. From the drop down, generally, in the general sense, I've written.
Before city, I'm saying. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Got it. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice observation, by the way. Thanks. So you need to make these kind of changes in all the cases. Hmm? That's a nice observation, Surya. Thank you. So clear? Clear,
Yeah.
everyone? So select the journey date. Okay. 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 So if you don't give a from and to, then onward date will not work, right? Like the journey date. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Just click on search buses.
Yeah,
I
without
think
giving the from and to, and if you're trying to give a onward date, like your journey date, will it work?
it'll give you all the list of buses for that date,
Really?
is what my understanding is.
No,
Anyway,
if you see the day, the application will be crashed because there'll be tons of buses, right? Come on, there'll be tons of buses that will be traveling across the country, and if you are trying to display all of them, then the application will be hanged. Like me, many users are using the red bus application, right? So it is not ideally not feasible enough to display all the list of buses on the same page.
correct, but it also takes the location of from, I mean, based on the IP and all, because it's like
Yeah, based on उतना advanced नहीं है. The red bus is not that advanced.
it's a vague thought, but anyways, yeah, we should be getting an error
The
there.
red bus is not that advanced. I'm telling you, it's part of the SRS document. So before you write a test case, you'll have the requirement analysis session as part of STLC that we have discussed, right?
Yeah, yeah, they'll mention it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Select the required date from the date picker. Okay. User should be able to select the desired date. Select the desired date. Clear? Search for the buses. Click on search buses button. Click on search buses button. Application should display a list of buses as per the from and to as per the above combinations. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubts, anyone? Anyone has any doubts in this?
No, it's clear.
So, like this, I want everyone to practice the test case concept, like how do you write a test case? How do you do it? All these concepts you have to keep on practicing it, because we in the sessions we teach only for a couple of scenarios, but in the real time you have to practice a lot in the backend. How do you write this? How do you write that? How do you get a clear understanding of what is what and all? Clear?
Yes.
So the template remains the same. There won't be much of changes in the templates. Clear?
Um,
Many doubts? Anything? Anyone has any doubts? Please let me know.
that's
So any doubts anywhere so far in the 4 days that we have discussed? Hmm? So this basically I mentioned my scenario names here as per the sheet names. This is my style of writing the test cases, ideally. Okay. Clear?
Clear.
So the rest of the fields, how do we take it down?
So like you write the test cases, right? As per the documents or as per the requirement, as per the mock UIs, you write the test cases, right? So once the application is handed over to you, then we test it. Once the actual result are working as expected, we mention. If it is working, we mention as working as expected, and we mention here as pass again, with some nice highlighting. Clear? If it is failing, given valid OTP, but not unable to log in. And I'm just telling you, I'm giving you a sort of observations.
Yeah.
This is prevalent. I say like prevalent in UAT and set environments. Because some SMS gateway services, they'll be there in UAT and SIT environments, right? Not in the local environments. So no, we need to mention the environments because developers won't know. Bug ID I'll mention as something like this. Clear?
Okay.
Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So actually, the same thing we can do via automation also. How we will be doing it, you can see it. 1 minute. Basically, my profile is more into automation and less into manual because in my previous company I worked as more on the manual side, and in this company I'm working more on the automation side. So and sometimes they'll ask me to do performance also, unfortunately.
Multitasking.
Can't do, can't help.
Correct.
So basically there is the same scenario if you do with Selenium, how it comes, how it looks, I'll show you. I mean, manual is really good, but if you have an add-on as automation, as I told you in the previous session, it will be really great for your career as well as in the organization also. Okay, just a minute. Clear? I mean, I'm not done to proceed to pay because there's a unstated rule of automation that you should not do any payment related activities on this live applications because you're obviously leaking your original payment details, right?
Correct.
And you cannot automate the OTPs. Clear? So is this clear, everyone? I mean, the flow.
Yes.
So Selenium,
Clear.
basically, this is how a basic Selenium scripting works, and it is so fast and so aggressive, so dynamic that you'll not even realize what is happening in a split second. If I have not told you the scenario, you'll not even understand how fast it's going. Yes or no?
Yes. In automation, it was very fast.
Yeah. So Selenium is basically by default it is quick enough, And if you want to see the reports also, you can have these reports. Okay, clear? Clear?
Yes.
So this is how a basic automation script works, ideally. So if everyone wants to learn this kind of automation, what is what, why automation, where automation is useful, where do we need to use manual, where do we need to use automation? Like now you know where to use, where you need, how to use manual, how do you start some base testing. Basically, I've given you a kickstart about how do you do a manual testing and all the stuff. In the later point of time, there'll be a ramp down in your team, right? I hope everyone knows there's a ramp up and ramp down in your console, in your teams. Yes or no?
Yes.
So basically what's happened, the number of people will be reduced, right? Once the number of people will be reduced, it is difficult for a single person or two to cover the whole project, right? To test the complete project. So that time what you will do, you will have some automation library or regression suite built for it. Once you have the automated library or regression suite built for it, then you obviously need not worry, because once a robust framework or library is built, then it will start executing by itself. It will execute the suite by itself and it will generate the reports by itself, and based on reports we can decide whether the build quality is good or not. Clear? Clear everyone why automation is used by the companies? Because it's a lot of cost saving. I mean, we'll discuss more of this points in the automation demo that we are having tomorrow. Tomorrow we are having the automation demo with respect to Selenium with Java. You'll discuss more points about why automation. How do we go hand in hand with Selenium with automation? Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. So clear everyone?
Yes.
Any doubts? Anything?
No.
Any doubts? Anyone so far about the different testing methodologies or different
Can
things?
you run on round of test in automation like for fail case?
I have not written a script to fail for you. If you want me to fail it, wait, let me give a try. Okay, let me try. I'm not so sure of whether it will fail or pass. So you have seen a test case has failed, right? Hmm? Hmm?
Yes.
What?
But where can I see that error message?
If you can see my screen, I've
That's
highlighted
minus
for you.
one out of the boundaries for length. Okay. Okay, based on the error message, you can fix that issue, right?
Yeah, if you know what is the message, I know what is the message, I know how to fix it. Similarly, when you go through this journey of Selenium, when you keep on practicing it, you will know how to fix the issues.
Okay.
There won't be any predefined error messages for you in Selenium or Java. We have to create those predefined messages. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Clear?
Yep. Clear.
So anyone has any queries or concerns before we wrap up? Because today is the final day of the manual crash course. Okay. If you don't have anything to say, then we'll wrap up for the day. And I'll be sharing this automation session that we have tomorrow in the group so that everyone can join. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Rahul.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks.